and this side of the House going into election year. It's going to be a fantastic campaign. Let's bring it on.
Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. That speech from the party that gave us Chinese-sounding names, that bagged migrants in the last election, and now they're lecturing us. Fascinating, isn't it? And I do want to acknowledge the Leader of the House for acknowledging the role the opposition has played in helping them keep their legislative process on track. Because many here will remember minister after minister coming down into the House filibustering their own bills, taking 10 minutes a call. And you know who I felt sorry for? It was the government backbenchers. They weren't even trusted to filibuster their own bills. They had to bring the ministers down. Adjournment debate, Mr Speaker, is about endings. And I think, ironically, this side of the House would probably feel like the year should last another 3 or 4 months. We could go another 3 or 4 months. The momentum is there, but then you have a government that's happy to pull up sticks. The ministers' crown cars are waiting in Museum Street. They're waiting for the adjournment debate to end because they've had enough. This has been a year of a failed socialist experiment. It's been littered the whole year of this failed socialist experiment. And the people that are going to suffer are the hard-working New Zealanders, the quiet, hard-working New Zealanders, who see all their hard-earned gains taxed increasingly by this party. And then they go and spend like a drunken sailor. Fees free. Didn't even meet its targets. Kiwi build, less than 300,000. We had a development in my electorate of Waimakariri, private builders, building high-spec 4 double-bedroom internal garage houses right next to Kiwi build houses. The private market was selling them cheaper than Kiwi build. This government has failed at every step of this year in this failed socialist experiment. And I tell you what, because their internal polling will be showing what ours is for the region of Canterbury. And they'll be worried. Because I tell you what, in Canterbury, we've been fleeced and forgotten. You won't find a government minister coming into Canterbury. And then what was Chris Lynch told by the Prime Minister's press sec? You'd need another March 15th to get her back on the Chris Lynch show. And there's nothing that winds up Cantabrians worse than $5.5 billion that was stolen out of state highway funding and redirected to Auckland public transport. Cantabrians, the grafters of this country that punch well above its weight for GDP, and we're funding to go to Auckland. Cantabrians don't like that, and that's why your polling for Canterbury will be showing the same as well. Cantabrians are feeling fleeced and forgotten. Mr Speaker, I do want to finish on some positive notes. The first, I want to acknowledge the senior whip for the opposition and the National Party, Barbara Kerrigan. Huge leadership she has shown over the last year to navigate their way through what's been quite a treacherous parliament over the last 12 months. I want to acknowledge also my colleague down the road there, Todd Muller, for the work he's doing in the agricultural space. I represent a semi-rural and peri-urban area, and I know how tough farmers are getting at the moment. They're getting kicked by this government. Todd Muller's been out there for months on end, public meeting after public meeting, good old-fashioned politics, getting out there and getting in front of the people that he served. And each, I know, farmers meeting, he's getting 100, 150 farmers. They're the one that's delivering this economy in New Zealand. They're the ones that this government is kicking. And finally, Mr Speaker, to acknowledge you, wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I have been in a role where I've had to interpret the ups and downs of how you allocate SUPs. at times I have reflected and I have wondered what the opposition attack dog Trevor Mallard would have done with a speaker like you. And I have questioned and thought about how he would respond and whether there was any lessons for the opposition maybe in early next year about how we respond to your refereeing of question time. To all the parliamentary staff, thank you very much for enabling us parliamentarians to serve the country, and what a great country it is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.